Welcome back, boss. In this video, I want to share how I come up with content ideas. Literally hundreds of content ideas. I am so deep in content ideas right now, I will probably never run out. There are 8 secrets I use to gather ideas, some of them on autopilot, that I want to share with you so that you're never stuck staring at a blank screen again, trying to figure out what to write or what to record. So whether it is blogs, social media, YouTube content, podcast content, let's talk about how to never run out of content ideas again. I'm Tara Wagner, breakthrough coach and lifelong entrepreneur. I help other entrepreneurs use a holistic approach to business so they can create profits they can depend on without burning themselves out. If that sounds like your jam, be sure to check out my free training on how you can do the same. Now, I'm going to go into all 8 of these little secrets, but the first 3 are the most important ones because they are the ones that are not going to come from your brain. They're going to come from the brain of the people that you are showing up to serve in your business. Secret number 1 is to ask via email automations. This is setting up an automation that will constantly ask people what they need or want from you. This gets ideas on autopilot because you're going to have replies to this all the time. Now, I'm going to show you in a screen share of how I set this up. I set it up to be a response, something that they'll actually reply to. And this is because I want to reply to them. I want to actually have a dialogue and connect with people and really show up to serve them in that way. But you can set this up to also be a form instead that they're going to fill out. I do find that you might get less answers to that depending on your audience. Some people will get less answers if it requires somebody to hit reply. So just know for yourself or maybe test out and see which one works better for you. Okay, let me show you how this is set up inside of ActiveCampaign. I have this set up in an automation, and when you click into this automation, what it will show you is that anytime they submit a form, a couple things are going to happen. The first condition it's going to take us through is if they submitted it through this particular form, they are going to end this automation. If they have already gotten this thread, they'll get a tag for that will say the social invite was sent. That tag, if they already have it, it will end this automation. So they won't go through this automation multiple times. If they have another tag, which is our private customers tag, that will end this automation as well because they don't need to get these questions. Then they get this tag. So if all of these were a no, that means this is the first time they've gone through it. They'll get this tag. It'll wait 20 minutes. It's going to send an email introducing myself, telling a little bit about me, things like that they should know. And then based on some of the forms that they sent, if they have a tag for our essential oils, they're going to get a different question that's going to ask them basically what their biggest question is around emotional aromatherapy. And if they got any of our other opt-ins, it's going to wait a couple hours and it's going to send them an email saying, what's the number one question or frustration that you have in your business right now? And I'll open this up so you can see the copy. Hey, first name, I forgot to ask you this in my last email, but I have a quick question for you. What's the number one thing burning you out in your business right now? So this has been really effective to get people to reply back, to be able to build those relationships, but also get those content ideas. Secret number 2 is to ask via your Facebook group questions. When you're setting up your Facebook group, you get 3 questions that you can ask people. Make sure one of those questions, ask them what they're looking for, what their biggest frustrations are, what their biggest questions are. If they could ask you anything, what would it be? This allows you to start gathering ideas, to start seeing trends, to start seeing popular topics in what people are telling you. Again, this is another one that can be set up on autopilot. Just make sure as those questions come in that you're actually putting them in your content spreadsheet planner. And if you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out right here. It's going to show you how to map out all of these content ideas. Number 3 is to straight up ask your audience via a social media post. This could be a quick graphic and a quick post that just says, hey, I'm planning out content. What are some topics that you would love for me to tackle? What do you want to know? If you could ask me anything, and what would it be? What's your biggest question or frustration or headache around this particular topic? This is gonna get the ball rolling, get people asking you questions, and get tons of content ideas. This isn't necessarily automated, but it is a great way to start your list. Number 4 is to use a little website called answerthepublic.com. With this website, you can literally fill in any topic, and it's gonna give you questions that people are Googling about that topic. The number of ideas that you can come up with, especially cornerstone ideas, content that you wanna create, that you wanna have, that you might point back to again and again, or that's gonna be really great for search engine, that's what you're gonna find from this. There is a paid and a free version, and you are limited on the free version to how many searches you get. So just be very mindful about how you want to use it, and make sure you take screenshots or copy things down so that you have those lists for later as well. Number 5, use a plugin called Keywords Everywhere. This is not a free plugin, but it is definitely worth the cost. What this allows you to do is type in any keyword into Google or just about any other search engine, but Google is the best in this case, because what it will do is pull up the search volume for that keyword, but also give you a whole list of other keywords that you might consider. This is a great way to come up with content ideas. A lot of times you'll be thinking about one idea, you'll type it in, and you'll realize that a lot of people have a question, a very particular question about that content idea, a very particular question about some topic that you didn't think of that you could create an entire spin-off video on. So this is a great way to add to your list of content ideas. It doesn't take very much time. You can spend a couple minutes going through your main topics and collect a bunch of ideas this way. Number 6 is to search either Quora or Reddit. This is where you're going to type into Google Reddit and a question or a topic. This is gonna come back with a lot of different topics that people are talking about and asking about, which can not only give you great content ideas, but also help you to make sure those content ideas are well-rounded, that you're covering all the things that somebody might want to know about that topic, just by hearing what other people are asking, or maybe even looking at some of the answers. Some of those answers might be really great, and it's like, oh, hey, I gotta make sure I remember to include that. Or some of those answers might be crap, and you might be like, you know what? I need to make a topic about the fact that this is actually bad advice. So again, it's just another great way to get lots of content ideas by scoping out to see what's already being asked, what's out there, what are people already looking for. The more you can focus on content that people are already searching for, whether it's got good search volume, whether there's a lot of topics around it online, this shows you that people actually want the content you're going to create. There's nothing worse than creating a ton of content that gets no traction, no views, no likes, no engagement whatsoever, because people don't actually need it. You might know they need it, but they don't think they need it. And so the content just doesn't go anywhere. You want to make sure that at least a good majority of your content is content that people know they need and is answering questions or solving problems for them, so that you can make sure that content will gain some traction. Number 7, keep a running list nearby. Keep something in your phone where you can quickly, easily drop ideas as they come to you. Because what's going to happen is when you turn your brain onto this idea of creating a list all the time, having this running list in the background, you're going to start noticing content ideas where you didn't before. You'll be watching a movie and it'll say something or reference something about what you do and the type of content that you would create, and it would give you an idea for something else that you might want to write down and create around. I've done this with newsletters. I like to tell a lot of stories in my newsletters. So if I'm watching TV, if I'm out with friends, if I'm doing something and there's some little analogy or something interesting that happens, I'll go and write that down quickly so that when I'm sitting down to write content, I can go through that and pull those stories out to relate it to whatever topic it is or thing that I'm trying to teach. You can definitely use the content spreadsheet for this as well, but I do find that sometimes you need something a little bit more accessible than a spreadsheet, even from your phone. So make sure that you're using what's going to work for you. And I actually have a list here of different places that I've pulled ideas from, just to give you an idea of where to start paying attention. So this could be from conversations you're having, top questions from clients or customers, Facebook threads, movies, TV, testimonials, success stories, before and afters, promotions, tips, anything that you see somebody that can give you an idea or that can create more content for you, or that you can use as content itself, specifically in terms of things like before and afters, testimonials, success stories. You want to make sure that you have one place where you're writing those down so that it's all in one place when you're sitting down to create. This is where I get to do a quick plug for our awesome sponsor, ClickUp. ClickUp is the perfect place to capture your content ideas. You can either do this in a task that you can access from the app, or keep trade for easy access on the web, or embed it in a content spreadsheet so you keep it all in one place without even switching tabs. You can also organize the tasks around each piece of content with templates to save you time and mental bandwidth. Just a few more reasons why ClickUp is the best project management tool for small business. And then number 8, you get to snoop on your competition. I actually will tell people don't pay attention to too much of what your competition is doing, specifically because it can really deter you. It can take you off track from what you need to be doing because their business is different than your business, right? Even if you're really similar. However, if you're running out of ideas or you need to find some really good ideas, specifically ideas that might gain a lot of traction in an algorithm, this is a great way to do it. Now, this is done primarily on YouTube, but you don't have to be making YouTube content to make this work. It does help because obviously YouTube content is going to gain more traction on YouTube than it might on something like a podcast, but it will at least give you some ideas of where you might want to start. So the way that you do this is actually to go to your competition on YouTube, whoever that might be, go to their top videos and look to see which videos have the most views, specifically views that are far above their subscribers. So if they have 10,000 subscribers but 100,000 views, that might be a good topic for you to tackle. I would tell you to snoop around on 10, 15, maybe even more channels just to write down ideas of what that content is about. Now, I'm not telling you to copy your competition or to create the same exact content that they're creating. What I actually want you to do is try to one-up them. Watch through their video, take notes on what they covered, what they didn't cover. What did they cover but not very well and you could explain it better? What are some of the comments in the comment section that need to be included in the video? What I want you to do is take the concept, but then make that concept better and also make it your own. Make it match your branding, make it match your style, make it match your ideal client and what they want to know. This is just looking for content ideas, but then making them even better so that you can gain even more traction than hopefully that person did in the algorithm. Doing these 8 things is why I am hundreds deep in content ideas right now, and I don't think I will ever catch up, which is a good thing, but maybe also sometimes a bad thing if you let yourself get overwhelmed, which is why you need the content spreadsheet to keep it all organized and help you map it all out a year at a time in less than a day. If you haven't seen that video, make sure that you watch it for sure. It's a good one. Applying hacks like these are so important so that we don't burn ourselves out with things like content creation. However, they are not the most important things to avoid burnout. If you want to really understand how to build a business that doesn't burn you out, I encourage you to learn about my healthy hustle approach. My free class, How to Use a Holistic Approach to Create a Profitable Business Without Burning Yourself Out, will show you the top 3 mistakes small business owners are making and introduce you to the approach and strategies I teach within the Breakthrough Boss Inner Circle to help you build reliable profits working less than 40 hours a week. You can find a link for that free class in the description below. If this video was helpful or gave you any ideas, give me a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot as well. Fist bump in the comments if you made it to the end, and be sure to check out these videos to help you create and plan out your content even faster. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.